Title: The Whispers in the Woods, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. A group of friends gathered around a flickering campfire deep in the woods. The smoke twisted and curled into the darkening sky while the night's chill began to settle around them. Tom, the bravest of the group, leaned in closer to the fire and smirked. "You want to hear a story? I heard this one from a ranger last summer." A hush fell over the group, and they leaned in as Tom began. Years ago, there was a family that decided to camp right in these woods. They set up their tent, lit their fire, and settled in for what they thought would be a perfect weekend getaway. But that night, as they roasted marshmallows and shared ghost stories, they heard something strange, soft, whispering voices drifting through the trees. At first, they thought it was just the wind, but the whispers grew louder, more distinct. Words they couldn't quite make out, but filled with desperation. The father, looking uneasy, suggested they ignore it and focus on their fun. But the whispers would not be silenced. They seemed to echo closer. Then the mother, trying to calm her nervous children, stood up. "I'll go check it out," she said, her smile feigning confidence. She walked toward the trees, and the moonlight cast long shadows on the ground, swallowing her figure whole. Minutes passed, and her husband, growing anxious, called out to her. No answer. The kids huddled together, terrified, as the whispers intensified, almost forming a chant. "Come, join us," it repeated in a haunting melody that sent chills down their spines. Finally, unable to stand it any longer, the father rushed into the dark, calling her name. But all he found were the echoes of his own voice, bouncing back to him through the trees. Panicking, he sprinted back to the campfire and gathered the children. "We need to leave, now." They tore down the tent and packed their things as quickly as possible, glancing back at the pitch-dark woods. Just then, they saw a figure emerge from the shadows. The mother, her eyes wide and empty. She stepped into the light, but didn't say a word. She just stared at them as the whispers returned, this time louder, closer. The father's heart raced, and he grabbed the children, running in terror as the whispers turned into a deafening wail that filled the air. "Join us." It was trying to pull them back into the woods, where many other lost souls beckoned, lured by the promise of family. They finally made it to their car, but as they looked back, there was no sign of the mother. All that remained was silence, hanging heavily in the air like a thick fog. They drove away, hearts pounding, desperately hoping to escape the woods. But they could still hear it, the whispers, clinging to them like a shadow. Legend has it, those who camp in these woods carry the whispers with them. They say the spirits of the lost wander at night, calling out for what they've lost, waiting for the next family to join them. As Tom finished, the fire crackled ominously, and a gust of wind rustled the trees. The group exchanged uneasy glances, their laughs fading into silence. And for the rest of the night, as they sat by the fire, the whispers fluttered just beyond the shadows, waiting, always waiting.